Hold on. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the studio. This is Carla, and thank you for joining me with another episode of our paper pumpkin unboxing. I received my paper pumpkin kit, I think not yesterday, but the day before. And so I'm gonna get this video kind of done and posted all before I go live in a few hours. So this is Friday, May 23rd that I'm filming this. I'm filming it in the afternoon, actually, on my lunch hour, because I'm pretty sure I can get this video done in within an hour, hopefully, but we will. Because everything in a paper pumpkin kit is already um basically pre-cut, pre-scored and all that. It's just doing a little bit of stamping and some assembling, so it should go pretty quick. So so a little bit later on today, which is Friday at 7 p.m. Now I gotta clear my throat. I was fine before. As soon as I go hit live, now I gotta sound funny. So I gotta try and get through this without having to clear my throat a whole lot. Okay, so on Fridays, I go live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time right here on this channel. And so in a few hours, I will be going live and I will be featuring the, excuse me, the celebratory sips sweet collection. And I hope you'll be able to join me and some of my usual followers that join me on Friday nights. So I hope that you can join us. What I also do on my Friday night lives, let me turn this other light on. I do a drawing to give away the cards that I make that night. So if you can join us live, you can participate in that if you'd like. So again, this is my monthly paper pumpkin unboxing. Every month when I do get my paper pumpkin kit, what I do a pre-recorded video where I do an unboxing to show you what's in it. And then I create one of each of the projects that's in here. So then that way you kind of see how it goes together and all that. So the thing with paper pumpkin, what's nice about it, if you are a beginner stamper and you want to do some kind of card making or paper crafting, what's nice about this is that you have everything that you need to complete the projects right here in the box. The only thing that you typically need in addition may be, like, say, a pair of scissors, a bone folder, for creasing your pre-scored card bases. And then also maybe like a take your pick tool, which is nice for picking up any embellishments in your kit. Now, this particular kit doesn't have any embellishments in it. There's really also nothing to cut either because there's no twine or there's no ribbon. And again, a bone folder is nice to give you that nice, complete fold of your card. So, excuse me, I am so sorry, guys, that, I don't really want to stop and then restart this and do it all over again because I am under a time constraint at the moment. So I apologize if I end up clearing my throat. I don't know why this is happening. So, um, I just need to get through this with no issues. So the thing, like I was mentioning about the kit, is that if you're a beginner stamper or beginner paper crafter, you're not going to have all these supplies, like your die cutters, paper trimmers, all the different color inks and markers and all that other stuff. So what's nice about this is that everything that you need to complete these projects is in the box. When you're a first time subscriber, you do get, they do send you an acrylic block, which I do have one here. So it's just it's different than the acrylic blocks that we sell in the catalog. The one in the catalog is a little bit thicker and ergonomically it's a little bit easier to hold, where these are just like really flat, and they're also a lot thinner, as you can see. So I'm probably going to end up using my regular block for this. But when you're a first time subscriber in your very first kit, you will get one of these blocks that you can then use for all your other upcoming kits. Now, the thing with Paper Pumpkin is that you can do a prepaid subscription, which I believe is 3, 6, 9, and 12 months. This is where you would pay for it, pay for whatever option that you want all at once, and then it's a matter of just going into the Stampin' Up website, and I believe it's activating a code or just activating it to have it start being delivered to you. There's also the month to month subscription. So the 10th of each month is the last day that you can either subscribe or cancel or pause, or even if you find that that kit's going to be something that you really like and maybe you want additional, you can adjust the quantity as well. But all of that always has to be done by the 10th of each month. So I will explain and give you kind of like a little sneak peek as to what the kit's going to be for June. So the kit for June, whatever you need to do, whether you want to subscribe or cancel or pause or whatever, you would have to do it by the 10th of June for that particular month's kit. So if you have any questions whatsoever, my email will be in the description. Just simply send me an email and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions regarding it. So this is how your kit's going to come. It will be cellophane wrapped. This is typically what the boxes are going to look like. Sometimes they do have like a really pretty decorated box that kind of falls into the theme of the kit. So this particular month's kit is called Mountain Majesties, and this is geared more for like masculine cards. And so there's not a lot of, like I said, there's no ribbon, there's no twine, no linen thread, there's no embellishments in it, but there are layers that you put on your card. So we'll open this in a second. Before I do that, I just want to give you a little, just a little bit housekeeping stuff. It's not much at all. So in regards to next month's Paper Pumpkin Kit, it's going to be called Full of Charm. The subscription period for this opened up on May 11th, and it will go until June 10th. So if this is a kit that you would like, you would have to subscribe to it by June 10th, because once it hits June 11th, then it's going to start the subscription period for the June, no, not the June, but the July kit. So with this, it says that it's going to coordinate with the Floral Charm Suite Collection, which I believe is most likely going to be a new online exclusive suite that will come out and be available mm, either June or July. I know that it comes out a lot of times, things will come out a month earlier for demonstrators to pre-order. So it's possible June demonstrators may be able to pre-order that suite collection. And then it goes live to customers in July. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what's going to happen with it. So basically, it coordinates with it, so you're not going to need that anything from that suite to complete the projects in the kit. So This particular kit, it says, send your loved ones elevated cards with heartfelt sentiments. It'll make 9 cards, three each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. Envelopes and card bases with decorative gold foil. There are pre-cut paper pieces and unique sentiment labels. The coordinating colors in the kit is Berry Burst, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, Pretty Peacock, which is also the classic Stampin' Spot, and the new in color Timid Tiger. So that's kind of like that orange color that you see there. And again, like I said, it's going to coordinate with the Floral Charm Suite collection, which is going to be upcoming in our online exclusives. So, in addition to this, we have the coordinating add-on. These are a set of dies Stampin' Up! Started this last year, that they come out with a little set of dies that will coordinate with those 3 months, kits. So we have um, the hugs die that will coordinate with April, which, hold on a second, I do have I do have the set of dies here. So originally when I first saw these, I thought, well, these are going to be really, really small, but I was really pleasantly surprised at the size of it. So in the April kit, there is a die cut that they have, um, that you added onto your card that had the hugs in this type of script. So now there's a die that's smaller than that, but now you got the word die for that. And then for May, there for this particular kit that we're doing, there is this stitch tag right here. And then for June, there's both this detailed flower and the set of leaves. So these things coordinate with with that particular kit. However, you don't need the dies to complete any of the projects in the kit. It's just if you want to, take your kit and maybe you don't want to, say, create the projects the way that they have them in the kit, you can also do alternatives. And then the dies are just an extra added fun feature. Now, to get the dies, you do need to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. The item number for these is 166238. And at the time that I'm filming this, they are still available in the online store. The dies here in the US, they are $12. So again, these are still available if you would like those. Um, let's see. Then we still have our last chance products. So anything that was in our holiday mini, our January to April mini, our annual catalog that just retired at um, earlier this month, and what was clearance rack, online exclusives, they're all in the last chance products. So in the description of the video, there is a link that will take you to the online store that'll show you all the stuff that's in the last chance products. Now, some items, they have been marked down, some items haven't. Also, they refresh this like every 2 months. So they did it in April. So maybe June there'll be more stuff that'll be added into the last chance products. Another thing, because we're coming up to the end of the month. So with the new catalog, Stampin' Up! Has a starter kit special, and this will go until through May 31st. So the cost of the starter kit here in the United States is $99 plus tax. The shipping is free. And with that $99, you get to choose $125 in product. Along with that, you'll get some like business related type stuff. Like, for example, you'll get a whole box of 8 of whatever our current catalog is going to be. So right now it'll be the new annual catalog. You would get like some postcards, you would get um what a cup there's I think there it may have changed a little bit, but you get some things like as if you're going to host a party or something like that. Also, there is also a past paper pumpkin kit, a full paper pumpkin kit in your starter kit, so you can see what paper pumpkin is all about. Now, to be so then at that point you would be a demonstrator, right? Well, during this special, instead of choosing $125 in product, you get to choose $165 in product. So you get to choose $40 more in product in your kit. And again, it's what you want to choose to put in it. So if you go to the online store, you can include items that are from the new catalog now. You can also add things that are from the last chance list, anything that's from online exclusive. So basically anything that you see in the online store, other than like say the Paper Pumpkin subscriptions, you can add to your starter kit. And again, this goes until May 31st. Now, when you get the starter kit and you become a demonstrator, you don't have to do what I do or what a few other demonstrators do, where they're building it as a business, where you're holding in person classes or you're doing videos. You could just simply enjoy that 20% discount. And then there is like a sales threshold that when you reach it, and it's not hard to reach it, but if you maintain like $1,800, now I'm talking the US, so in other countries it's going to be different, but if you maintain like $1,800 in your rolling 12-month calendar, your discount goes from 20% to 25%. So it's nice to get a discount on your crafting supplies. So if you have any questions at all regarding this and you're kind of hesitant because you have questions, there is a link that I do have in the description. When you click on that, it would take you to the website and it'll explain everything right there for you. However, if you have any questions at all, again, my email address is in there and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Also in there is a link if you would like to receive my monthly newsletter. In my monthly newsletter, I include what my video schedule is, any news of what I am doing here in the studio, and what Stampin' Up! Is offering. I also put in there any of the new kits that Stampin' Up! Has come out for that month. Every month they come out with either 2 or 3 new ones. So I have that in there. And then I even do like a sneak peek of the paper pumpkin that's going to be for that month too. So in this past one that I sent out for May, I had an image of what the May kit was going to be and basically what's in the kit. So if you would like to receive my monthly newsletter, I typically only do one a month usually, and it's on the first Tuesday of each month. But if, say, in the middle of the month, if Stampin' Up! Has some kind of special, like, say, free shipping or something like that, then I would send another newsletter just to kind of give you a heads up and let you know about that. But otherwise, I don't bombard your email, with an email on any of the Stampin' Up! Stuff like every single week. So if you would like to be on that, the link for that is in the description as well. Okay, so now let's stop talking about all that other stuff and let's get into this kit. So for this kit, I did pull things out for the kit, what we're using for the cards, just so we can get through this a little bit quicker. So in your kits, you're always going to get like this color pamphlet. So you're going to have a picture of what the projects look like. And again, with this particular month's kit that's geared towards the whole masculine and Father's Day. So you do have a stamp in here that does say Happy Father's Day. And in this pamphlet, there's no wording as to what you need to do. It does show you in pictures, it shows you where to place like any adhesive, where to stamp, like what image and where to stamp it. And so anything like this has tear and tape, so it's showing you where you place it on the pieces. And then you have like a breakdown of all the pieces that are in each of the projects. And again, it gives you all the instructions on how to put the card together. There's also a ruler on the side of this pamphlet. So if you did have linen thread or ribbon in it and it tells you how many inches you would need, then you got a ruler on here. You wouldn't need a ruler, but you would need the scissors. Then on the back, they show you all the bits and pieces that are in the kit. It tells you how many cards or how many items that it's going to make. It gives you all the coordinating colors in this kit. And then there is a QR code here. When you scan this, it will take you to the YouTube video that Stampin' Up! Does where they assemble. You kind of see how the whole kit goes together. And then, of course, there's the add-on dies that I did mention. So then there's a QR code here that'll take you to where these add-ons are in the online store. Okay, so in this kit, it does come with a Misty Moonlight ink spot, but I am going to bring in my full-size ink pad for this. These are the three projects. I kind of separated all the pieces and I have that right there ready to go. Then you get in this kit, there's some tear and tape. There's a big sheet of Stampin' Dimensionals. There's the photopolymer stamp set, and you do get this printout of the stamp artwork. So on here you have You Mean the World to Me, For a Wonderful Man, or no, To a Wonderful Man. You have some birds here. You have Happy Birthday, I Love You, Best Dad Ever, You're the Greatest, and Happy Father's Day. So there's always an exclusive photopolymer stamp set in these kits. Then there's all these little bits and pieces. So there are some vellum die cut pieces. There's some colored cardstock die cut pieces. And you got tags, more vellum. And then of course you have your card bases and then your envelopes. And then there's more die cuts as well for the projects. Okay, so now let me kind of put this out of the way and just keep out what we're going to be working with. Okay, so let me open up our instructions to look at card number 1. So it did take a little bit for me to figure out the bits and pieces for this particular these projects, because I had to understand, because you got vellum pieces, you got cardstock pieces, and so it took a little bit, but I got it all figured out. So here's our pretty envelope. This looks like it's the Lost Lagoon, like kind of like this watercolor wash feel to it. Okay, so then here's our card base. So you have the print on both the front and the back. So what's nice about this, if you wanted to do alternative projects, you can end up doing more than 9 cards. You can separate, your card front and your card and the back, and you can add this onto a cardstock card base. So there's so many different things you can do with these kits other than the projects that they give you instructions on what to do. But I'm going to follow the instructions and we're going to do those. We're not going to do any alternative stuff. Okay, so on this one, we're using the Happy Father's Day greeting, and then we're also going to use this stamp that's got the birds on it. Okay, and then I'm also going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set. It doesn't have like that foam cushion on it like the red rubber stamps do. So to get a better stamped image, I am going to use my foam. And if you don't have the Pearson mat, like any thin piece of foam will work as well. So then let me bring in this block for our greeting. Now the other thing too with photopolymer stamps, to get a nice good stamped image with them, there is a film that's on them, you know, during just the process of making these. So what what I like to do is to clean my stamps first, and it just kind of removes that film on them. Okay, set that aside. All right, so in this I already pulled out all the pieces for it. So there is this greeting tag right here, and we're going to stamp our Happy Father's Day on that. And what's nice is these are photopolymers, so you can see exactly where you're stamping. So there's our Happy Father's Day. And we'll set that aside. And then on the card base, we're going to stamp these birds. So is there another? Yes, there is. There's a whole nother little stamp here that's got the birds on it. So let me go and clean that one. I didn't see that little one. Okay, so they have, see if I make sure I get these the right way. Okay, so I'm going to take the little one here, and we're going to stamp them over here. Got very inky because you can barely make out that those are birds. And then we'll ink this up. And then we'll stamp these right over here. Okay, and that's all the stamping that we're doing for this particular card. So I'll move this out of the way. Now we're going to take our greeting piece. Now they show these little white hexagons here. So those are the dimensionals. So we're going to add 3 of these to the back of our greeting. Like so. And then on, let's see, which piece is which here. Okay, so then on the back of this piece, we're going to add 3 dimensionals to this. So there's a lot of layering on these cards. So it's a matter of just really looking at where they're telling you to place your adhesive. Okay, so then on this piece right here, we're actually adding our dimensionals to the front of this. At least that's what I think we're doing. Hold on. Because, no, actually, I think this is the vellum piece. So right, so we're adding 3 across the bottom here. And then we'll have another one right up here, like so. Okay, so we got our greeting piece, we have this piece, and this, and I'm just following what they have here. And then we're taking the tear and tape. Now, one of the things I like to do with my tear and tape to get a nice clean edge when I go to tear it, something like that block that you get in your kit, it's got that straight edge on it, so it helps. So this is going to go right along the very bottom of this piece. And then what I like to do is take my edge of my block and then tear it, so there's that nice straight cut edge right there. Okay, so that's that piece. And then on this piece, we're going to add some right about here, straight across. Okay, so now the assembly part. So they do show you the pieces, and they have like lettered them so you know what order to put these things down. So A, which is, this is our vellum piece. So we're going to take off our paper backings. Okay, and then we're going to line this up to the bottom edge of our card. Like so. And it's hard to, when you got all this adhesive and it's sticking before you can really get it down. Okay. Looking right over this. I'll line it up. Okay. So then B is next. So B is this piece right here. Yeah, so this piece goes right here. And this has the tear and tape. And one of the things I like using the take your pick tool, it does make it a little bit easier to remove that paper backing. Okay, so then this piece is going to go right on top of that, and hopefully we get into the video so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and then C is this vellum piece right here. Okay, and then that is going to line up to the bottom here. So with this kit, there are multiple layers on this, so you may have to add a little bit of extra postage on it when you're mailing it because of the bulk of it. Okay, and then this piece right here will go right down on the bottom like so. So there's all our multiple layers of our landscape there. Okay, and then the greeting itself, they show you where it's going to be placed on the card. So let me remove these backings. Okay, and then that will go right. It's flat, okay. So that will go right there. So there is our first card. So being that, it's a Father's Day card, it's not going to have all that glitzy bling on it, but it does have that really nice wow factor with all of those layers of those die cut pieces. Okay, so there's the first one. Let me go ahead and clean these stamps really quick. And then we'll pull out the other ones that we need. Okay, so card number 2. Okay, so for this one, let's bring in all of our pieces. Pull that out. Now on this one, we're not stamping our greeting because there is this one pre-printed one here. It says, "Thank you for being the person you are." Okay, so this one technically doesn't necessarily have to be for a guy. This can go to a female as well. All right, so then on this one, okay, so this is our greeting piece. So we're going to flip that over. They got 2 dimensionals on there that are on this left-hand side right here. And then you have this bigger white tag that we're going to add 2 dimensionals to that as well. One at the top and one in the bottom here in the middle. Okay, we'll set those aside. And then we have our tree die cut piece here. And they show you exactly where to put those dimensionals on there. So we have, let's see, we have 3 on the bottom. Let me kind of move this one over. Okay. Okay, so then we got 2 more, and then 1 right up here. Okay, so then we'll set that aside. And then we have, let's see, what piece is what here? So we have our piece of vellum. So on here, we're adding 6 dimensionals to this one. Go up higher. Okay, and then we'll set that aside. And then for this piece, we're going to bring in the tear and tape. And we got a strip going towards the bottom here. And where's that block? Okay, and then we'll add another one up here. Okay, and now time to assemble. All right, so on our card base, our A is going to be, let's see, our A is going to be our vellum. See, because there's so many layers, you're trying to decipher like which one is which, and that's why, I mean, it's not that it's a difficult and it's hard. You just have to kind of think about, okay, what piece is what. So this is going to go right across, lined up at the bottom, like so. And then B is going to be this piece right here. So we're going to remove our paper backings from our tear and tape. Okay, and then we'll line this up right over that. Okay, and then C is going to be this image with the trees on it. So it looks like this is the top layer of all these layers between the cardstock and the vellum. And then this is going to line up right over here in the bottom left-hand corner, like so. Okay, and then for our greeting piece, let's see what we have here. So okay, hold on a second. So they show you to put it on there. Okay. Let me just look at the picture first. Okay. All right. So then this is going to go on our white tag like so. And then we'll take the backings off of that whole back piece there. And then, oh, they did stamp. They did do some stamping on here. So before I put that down, I'm going to take the stamp that's got just the few birds on it. And let's stamp that before I put that greeting piece down. I'll ink this up. And then that will go right up here. Yeah, my stamp was a little bit wet earlier. That's why you could see the detail on these birds a little bit better, because that stamp was dry. Okay, now we can take our greeting piece. Let's put it on the right way. Make sure that our card is straight. And then I'll place that right there. So there we go. There is the second card. And you can see there's all those layers on there. So there is the second one. Now we'll do our final card. So this one doesn't have like a label per se to stamp the greeting on. We're actually stamping this directly onto the card base. So on this one, we're going to stamp you mean the world to me. So let me kind of clean off. Actually, we didn't use any of the other ones, did we? This one, are we stamping any of the birds? I don't see that we are. So I can use this block. And of course, you know, if you wanted to add birds on here, you certainly can. You know, this is just kind of like your basic guidelines. So if you want to, you know, you want to change it up a little bit, you're more than happy to. Okay. So then let's get, I'm just making sure that this is dry. Okay, so then there's our ink. And you can see there's this moon right here, or maybe it's a sun. So you are basically taking this and stamping this. And let me bring in my pierce mat for this. Okay, and I'll make sure that we're straight. And then stamp that right there. Again, there's a little bit of the stamp itself is a little bit wet, so that's why it looks a little I don't know if I want to say blotchy. It just looks, I mean, you can still read it. So okay, so then let's take our pieces here. So we have let's see, we have these 3 pieces. So on this bigger piece here, this brown, I think that's pecan pie, we're going to add some dimensionals to that. So we got one here, here. Okay, so we got that piece. And then on our piece of vellum, kind of following the same as what we did on that one card. And I have 3 on the bottom. And then 2 right there. And then on this little piece, we got 3 dimensionals on there. This kind of goes along the bottom here. Okay, and then this one doesn't have any tear and tape on it. So this one is a lot simpler. Not that the other ones weren't, but it's, I would say that it's the quicker out of the 3. Okay, so this one is our A. So we're going to line this up at the bottom of our card base. And we'll place that down. And then B is going to be our piece of vellum. Okay, and then that's going to go right over that, like so. And then our last and final piece here, this goes right over on top of that. So there is the 3rd card. Okay, and we got our envelope over here. So let me move all of this stuff out of the way and let me bring them in. So there's the envelope for our first card. So there is our Father's Day card. And then we have this one here, the thank you for being the person you are. Again, this one can also go to a female as well. It's not necessarily, you know, when you got mountainscapes and all that, that it's just strictly for a masculine card, but it's a very universal card, and that's a really nice greeting too. And then our last card, the same thing. It, you know, it's not referencing, you know, Dad or Father's Day or anything like that. So yeah, so this card can go to a female as well. So there are our 3 projects. This is from the Majestic Mountain Majesties May Paper Pumpkin Kit. I had to think of what month we were in. So if you like the projects in this kit and the video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. It does help me in not only growing the channel, but it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up! Business. Then when you subscribe, click on the notification bell. That will let you know when I have a pre-recorded video that has posted, and also when I go live. Again, I will be going live tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, in which I'll be using the celebratory SIPS suite. This is an online exclusive item, so I hope you can join me. Again, what I do at the end of my lives, I do a wheel of names actually for one of the cards that I create that night. So if you're on with me live and you're commenting in the chat box, then you're added into the drawing if you would like. So with that, that's all that I have. Now, again, the for the Mountain Majesties paper pumpkin kit, there should be a refill. Let me take a really quick peek uh, under the Stampin' Up website. I just want to make sure that what information I give you, that it's accurate. Bear with me here. Website's acting up. It's not giving me everything that I need. Okay, so paper pumpkin. Let's see. Okay, so for this particular kit, there is a refill that's available. The cost is $13.50 for it. What you get is you get all the paper components, and then you also get the tear and tape and another sheet of the Stampin' Dimensionals. The refill kits do not include another ink spot or the stamp set. It's just the paper components to the kit, and if there was any ribbon or embellishments. So the refill for this is available. They do not have the actual kit available. I will tell you that from last month, the Inked Occasions kit, they not only have the refill for $13.50, but then they also have the actual full kit. So that will include the ink spot along with the stamp set, and that's $24. So again, this is all while supplies last, and also out there, the Hello Spring kit. They got an actual full kit. That's the one that coordinates with the Help Me Grow bundle that's currently available in the online exclusives. And then for the Valentine kit that we had in January, Hearts for You, there's an actual full kit available for that too. So again, the full kits are going to have the ink spot along with the stamp set, whereas the refills will not. And then there's still the Merry Tags and More dies and the Every Celebration dies that coordinated with kits from last year that are still out there as well. So with that, next month, again, the cutoff for that particular kit, which one is this? This is the Full of Charm kit. So the cutoff to get this kit is June 10th. Um, Again, there's no commitment to this, when you subscribe to it. As long as you do it before the 10th of each month, you can increase the quantity of the kits. You can cancel, you can pause it. So anything that you do has to be by the 10th, because what happens on the 11th, you're then charged for the kit, and typically within like maybe two, possibly three, I'm saying more like two, that's when the kits end up shipping. So then it's a matter of, when you end up getting the kit. So I just added more light because I forgot to move the light back when we were doing that. So hopefully everything is clear and you could see what I was doing. So again, there's no commitments to this. I mean, like I said, you can pause it for that month, or you can cancel altogether. So, and if you have any questions, like I said, my email address is below. Just simply send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to answer any question that you may have regarding paper pumpkin. So, thank you, everybody, and I will Well, maybe I'll see you later, or I will see you next month with another episode of my paper pumpkin unboxing. So until then, everybody be safe and have a blessed one. Bye bye.